Hi, this is Sayyid Al Ahmed, and my presentation is regarding Maslow's hierarchy of needs and a critical review of the AI generated content that was given to us in the assignment. I used ChatGPT as a platform regarding it, so I am going to explain in detail of the response that was generated by ChatGPT and what was my critical review regarding it. Now, coming to the Abraham's theory, Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It defined a strict pyramid of five types of needs that are fulfilled one after the other. At the bottom, you have the physiological needs. Once they are fulfilled, then you have the safety needs. Once these two are fulfilled, then you have the love and belonging needs, and so on till the self-actualization level. That is the highest potential that a person has achieved. Now, this theory is widely used in psychology, education, management, public administration, and other related fields. Now, we have a workplace example as well that for if you want to have, if you want to see the implementation of this theory in the workplace, then fair salary fulfills the basic physiological needs. Once these needs are fulfilled by fair salary, then you have the safety needs that are fulfilled by safe workplace and job security. Then you have teamwork and positive culture that fulfills the belonging needs, and so on. You have the esteem needs that are fulfilled by recognition and promotion. And once all of these needs are fulfilled, then training and career growth are the ultimate top objective of a person that is working in an organization, and that these needs they come under the self actualization category. Now this we had a prompt that we had given to the AI, which we were required to give to the AI platform. I gave that prompt to the AI chat GPT, and it generated a response. That response, it had its own strengths and it had its own weakness as well. Briefly speaking, if you talk about the strengths of that response was that it had very clearly articulated in detail about this theory and how this theory is has been influential over the past few decades. And it was also very easy for a person who was studying it for the first time to understand. It described things in detail with example. It gave a workplace example, and each and every category of needs that has been defined in by Abraham Maslow has been explained in detail by the response that is generated by AI. The weakness of this theory is that while it has mentioned the strengths and weaknesses, that was a strong point, but what it has done is that it has not given an analytical response. It has been descriptive. It has just pointed out that these are the strengths, these are the weaknesses that so far have been identified, but it has not given its own independent response or own independent opinion based on the critical analysis of this theory with the contemporary theories and of this theory with different organizational and cultural contexts. So when it comes to these improvements that are needed in that response, what I think is that it needs a deeper critical analysis. It needs to analyze the fact that this theory can be implemented fully in these cultural contexts, in this organizational context, or in this social context. For example, one of the main criticisms that is on this theory is that it was developed keeping in mind the Western society that emphasizes individualism, and it ignores the collectivist societies and its dynamics. Now you have collectivist societies, but their dynamics, like the dynamics of South Asian collectivist societies, is different from that of the Middle Eastern ones, and different from that from the Far East Chinese and Japanese ones. Now you have to understand that if you want to implement this theory in collectivist societies, then up to what extent it can be implemented in South Asian collectivist society, and up to what extent it can be implemented in Middle Eastern collectivist society, and at what extent it can be implemented in the Chinese or Japanese collectivist societies. And this should also a critical response along with the social context should also include the organizational context. Like, for example, the organizational environment of armed forces is very different from that of the businesses, and that is very different from that of the government servants, of the government institutions. So you have to form critical analysis of whether this theory is fully, partially, or not implementable in specific cultural contexts, organizational contexts, and social contexts. And this is what, in my opinion, the AI generated response requires improvement. Now, if, as far as my personal reflection is concerned, I worked in Himmat Consulting Private Limited, an organization that is linked to development sector in Pakistan. Now, it had now, as far as my experience is concerned, my salary there was low. It was 2,000 rupees less than the minimum wage, but it was very good as far as capacity building is concerned. We had very good relationships. The team bonding was very good, and despite the fact that it has been some 3 4 months that I have left the organization, I'm in contact with each and every person in that organization, and as a result of that, was able to form good relationships with the people. I was able to enhance my skills. I was able to learn new skills as well related to that field, and I got recognition from the management for my hard work, and this increased my confidence and professional growth. Now, the learning that I got from it is that at least in Pakistani context, particularly in the beginning, it is not necessary that the companies or the organizations have to fulfill the physiological needs of the people. What they should focus is to fulfill the needs that are actually, even if they do not fulfill the physiological needs, they should focus on fulfilling the upper four categories that have been defined by Abraham Maslow's theory of needs, so that once these are fulfilled, this will ultimately lead to the fulfillment of the needs of the physiological needs in the later time. Now, because in Pakistan or in India, we have even at the entry level, or even till the time when people don't create their own houses, they live with their parents, they live in their own family houses. So it's not necessary for the organizations to fulfill the physiological needs of entry level or even mid level employees, but it is absolutely necessary for them in Pakistan or in the social or in the societies like ours to fulfill the upper four needs, the safety needs, the esteem needs of the employees. My conclusion is that Maslow's theory, it remains influential. It is very logical. It is very appealing to the common sense. And this has been explained by the AI in very great detail. But the AI generated response, it needs to have critical analysis, and the Maslow's theory of hierarchy, it needs to be compared and contrasted with contemporary management theories and specific social and cultural environments for better practical value. So this was from my side. I hope that I was able to explain myself well. Thank you.